It got us thinking about the real competition for places that it's hotting up now around Gareth Southgate's England squad when you see the depth of the list of English goal scorers in the Premier League this season. Chris, you'll really enjoy this section as we talk about England's great goal scorers. Well, we have an international football expert, of course, with us. Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the top of that list with 13 goals. Only Son has scored as many from open play in the Premier League this season. Is he now a shoo-in, do you think, Jamie?
I think so. I think, as I just mentioned to Patrick there, about players who are maybe just not quite been in the England squad before. So, I was thinking, Callum Wilson, Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings. I actually see, I wouldn't say a mainstay of the squad. I think on the back of this season, the goals he's scored, I think he's sort of next in line, I'd say, behind Harry Kane. Well, he certainly was. He's played plenty of games this season. And we'll see the goal. And the standout thing, I think, from Calvert-Lewin this season, how many goals he gets. You talk about a penalty box or a 6-yard box striker. 8 goals in the 6-yard box, really. And he's another one, though, as we mentioned with Patrick Bamford, where a couple of years ago, he was playing for Everton and he was getting criticised for not scoring, but he was actually getting in the team because of other things. Probably similar to Bamford last season, but now they get the goals, and that's when they get the credit, because the goals get headlines. But the coaches and the players who play with them don't forget the other things that they bring. I remember a performance from Calvert-Lewin. I think it was against Manchester United a couple of years ago when I think United lost 4-0 at Goodison a couple of years ago. And I'm not sure if he scored that game, I might be wrong, but his performance that day, working the channels, working centre-backs, you don't want to play against them. And you, even if you've got that, you need the goals to go with it. You do need that, and that's where the attention comes from. Hence why he's in the England squad. I'm now talking about Patrick Bamford making a shout as well.
And also, Ollie Watkins, you could have been describing there, the way you're talking about someone who really works defenders. He's added goals to it as well now in his first Premier League season. He's up to 10, I think, now. Chris, is he someone that's made an impression on you?
Ollie Watkins, yeah, I watched him at the weekend. I remember when he was obviously at Brentford. I think it was Exeter before Brentford. So you see players like this making their way through, stepping up, and you wonder how they're going to affect the game and can they handle it. And he's done. It's not just the goals he scored either, Ollie Watkins. He's another one, his work off the ball. When he keeps running, he defends for Villa, he defends from the front, just like Patrick Bamford was saying there. And Marcelo Bielsa demands that from him. Well, Dean Smith's got Ollie Watkins doing that at Aston Villa. As soon as he loses the ball, he reacts. And when Villa are in trouble, he's always back. He's almost playing in the midfield sometimes, just to get back and defend. His all-round game, Ollie Watkins, this season. I've been very, very impressed with him.
I think what we're just describing here is 2 strikers, but single them out for hard work. I think this should be almost, if any young strikers are actually listening, what actually people in football like. What people in football don't like, now, and this might sound ridiculous, if you're a player who scores goals but doesn't do anything else, you're giving yourself a problem, because no one scores every game unless you're Ronaldo or Messi. And I think the days have gone now of someone saying, yeah, I score 1 in 2 or I score 1 in 3, but they don't do anything else. Because when you actually play, if they don't score, you're playing with 10 men. Yeah. And the thing about that, it's almost, if you have a striker like that and the manager and the teammates will put up with him, not score him, because they're doing so much for the team, as opposed to someone who might get a few more extra goals, but when they don't score, you feel like they don't do nothing. Or they get 1 goal, it could decide a game. But the football now demands players who, them days are gone of, I've just got this job. Look at the wingers, we're talking about Rafinha. Bielsa's telling him, you get back with your full-back, your man-to-man marking, you're going to end up at left-back half the game. So you do it. These days now, and these top managers, and rightly so, they will not accept anyone who doesn't put a shift in, no matter how good you are. And if you don't, so when we're saying he does things extra, I think we should be just saying that's the norm. You've just got to, it's not even a bonus now. That's what you've got to do.
That's particularly the case in international football as well.
Same thing. No free rolls. No free rolls. You can't. The only free roll you get is probably a ham roll for your breakfast. Because there's no. You cannot carry one top level football at any professional football at any level. You can't carry one player. You can't. And that means we see more and more now, it's the new jargon, defending on a low block, playing through the lines. It's all this new information, but actually it's been around forever. It's just a different way of describing what's happening. More and more teams, top level, don't defend with 8, 2 banks of 4, they defend with everybody, especially when they're under the cosh. So your central strikers have got to be deeper and they've got to be doing the running. You know, they're the first line of defence, really. So Jamie's right. He's not just a striker where you can say, yeah, he scores 1 in 3. Well, he's not very good without it, but, you know, he get a goal. The football's not quite like that anymore. And it's definitely international football. I haven't been there for 4 years or however long. But even with us, every player had a job and they didn't have the ball. Even Gareth Bale, who was our star player, Aaron Ramsey, brilliant with the ball, but they knew when we didn't have it, there's a shift to be put in. You've got to put a shift in. 90 minutes, and you can't switch off, because when you play against the better players and the better teams, if you carry in one player, they'll find out where that player is the weak link and they'll punish you for that.